For seedlings, the focus is on proper root development, so it's recommended to use a 10-10-30, something with a bit more potassium to it, and that in and itself will help to promote or stimulate some amount of root growth. Now, I want to also highlight though that there are some key things to be mentioned. That in terms of plant, your plant will have to be at a stage of maturity for it to really start to bloom. An underdeveloped or young plant that is not at a maturity stage will not readily bloom, and the additional fertilizer at that stage will not necessarily causes that plant to bloom. Also, if the plant is not exposed to the right environmental condition, it can also affect the plant overall ability to actually grow and develop properly, and also to bloom as expected. Now, I want to highlight some of the nutritional products that is available at H&L Agro, and also at your Rapid True Value stores island-wide. Let's look at our garden line fertilizer here, which is specifically formulated for orchids. We also have our Nutrex, which is really your 2020 plus your minor elements or other elements is also a part of the composition of your Nutrex. So it's not just a 2020, it's more than a 2020, it's more of a holistic blend, so to speak. Also, I would like to pull your attention to our liquid line of fertilizer nutrients really, and they are highly soluble, highly absorbable as well, and these nutritional products is used to correct nutritional deficiencies in plants and to improve overall growth. Now, you may wonder if orchids suffer from nutritional deficiencies. Yes, they suffer from nutritional deficiencies, and oftentimes these nutritional deficiencies goes unnoticed, or they can be misdiagnosed for a fungal attack, right? Well, it's really a nutritional deficiency actually taking place. Now, going back to our garden line, our garden line premium orchid fertilizer, as I said earlier on, is formulated to meet the needs of your orchid plants. So this is a standardized orchid fertilizer that can be used on all species of orchid to provide that orchid with all the nutrients that it so demands at the different stages of growth. So it's more than a standard blend of nutrients. It consists of the primary macro and all the essential micronutrients. It promotes quick growth and gives you a richer, more intense color flowers or bloom. Of course, it is highly absorbable to plant leaves and root. And the beauty about your garden line or your garden feed orchid fertilizer is that it doesn't burn your plants easily. As long as you stick within the prescribed dosage rate, it doesn't burn your plant easily. Now, let's move over to our Nutrex, which I highlighted early on. Nutrex is your 2020, but it is comprised of other nutrient elements. So, for example, apart from your NPK, it also has your boron, your iron, your zinc, your cobalt, your copper, magnesium, molybdenum, and sulfur. So these are all nutrients that is important in the metabolic process to drive growth and proper development of your plants. So this is a wonderful fertilizer for you to have in your nutritional arsenal, so to speak, that you utilize on a weekly basis. Also, what I would like to turn your attention to is a product that I know for sure will work wonders. You all may be wondering. And for persons who normally research and read and just is into the whole orchid growth and so on, you may come across the use of of seaweed, or seaweed extract, I should say, as a biostimulant. So here we have algas plant tonic, which is a biostimulant made from sargassum seaweed, and it's 100% organic, and it provides a plethora of nutrients as well as plant hormone that stimulates plant growth. And if you realize, we have them in different graduations or sizes as well. Back to our liquid feed nutritional line here, that focuses primarily on addressing those deficiencies that may arise from time to time. So these are what you use to correct any deficiency issues, and as such to improve nutrition. We are going to speak about some of the deficiencies that may arise from time to time during cultivation. Good. So your algas consists of macro and micronutrients along with amino acids and important plant growth hormones such as auxins, cytokinins, and gibberellins as well. And these are all hormones that is used to drive the growth process in your plants, inclusive of orchid. Now, what will algas do? It will boost plants' overall well-being. It helps to build the plant immunity and overall growth, which is great. It also helps with boosting your flowering, right? So you'll have more blooms, more flower buds being forming, and as a result, more blooms and better looking flower as well. It will rejuvenate and restores vitality of damaged plants or plants that have been recovering from injury, such as pest infestation or fungal damage, which I have treated and as such need an extra boost, that extra push to facilitate growth and the development. So algas is one of those products that you should have as a part of your nutritional package or arsenal home that you use on a weekly basis in supplying your plants with the added nutrients, but also the hormonal constituents such as your gibberellins, your cytokinins, and your auxin in facilitating growth and development. Now let's turn our heads to our liquid feed line. Now, what I like about the liquid feed line is that they are highly absorbable, right? Means that they are readily absorbed into the tissue of the plant, and they are applied foliarly. Now, your liquid feed line consists of your K phosphate, which is a combination of potassium and phosphorus, of course, and as I highlighted, that the potassium and your phosphorus is important nutrients for root growth and also for flowering to take place. Also, we have our magnesium, which plays an essential role in the formation of chlorophyll. Next, we have our calcium boron that tends to fortify your plants' cell wall, making them more resistant to damage. So we're going to look at them individually in a minute. So this is your calcium boron. Good. Now we also have our phosphorus, which is this is your liquid feed phosphorus as well. Good enough. Good. We also have our zinc, of course, which plays a role in tissue development, especially new growth. Good. We have our fulvic and humic acid, and we're going to talk a bit about the magic of fulvic and humic acid. Wonderful product for you to have, especially if you're growing those that are more likely terrestrial and as such are grown inside. Good enough? Good. So we're going to look at them individually. Good. Now, when you're using your liquid feed, as I said to you earlier on, is focused on addressing deficiencies. Addressing what? Deficiency disease. And when we speak of a deficiency disease, we are talking about a disease that come about as a result of the lack or the absence of particular nutrients or nutrients nutrients. But as I highlighted early on, that the plant needs 16 nutrients in order for it to grow and develop properly. But carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are normally provided by nature, right, in the form of air and water. Outside of that, you have your macronutrients, which is your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium, your calcium, your sulfur, and your magnesium. Along with amino. Then you have those that are what we call our micro, that are needed in a minute form or lesser, or the demand for these just as important, but it's just that these trace minerals or trace elements are taken up in smaller quantities, and these trace elements are comprised of your iron, your manganese, your boron, your molybdenum, your copper, your zinc, your chlorine, and your cobalt. And an absence of your micronutrients can affect the function of your macronutrients. Keep that in mind. So your micronutrients is important for the meta to drive certain metabolic processes in your plant. Now, when we look at a calcium deficiency, and calcium deficiency is one of those diseases that affect, and deficiency disease, I should say, that will arise from time to time if you're not supplying or supplementing your orchids with enough calcium or calcium any at all. Most persons just use a standard 20-20-20 and that's it. Over time, you will realize that your plant will be affected, especially your Cattleya type, like your Garyanthus, your Garyanthus orchid. They tend to show symptoms of calcium deficiency, especially during the rapid growth period. So during the growth period where the nutrient demand is high, that is when you tend to see the calcium deficiency taking place. And although it is one of those lesser macronutrients, it is used to build your cell walls or to fortify for your cell wall. A deficiency of calcium normally occurs in the spring, which is a period of active growth, and as such active, the demand for nutrients will increase, nutrient uptake will increase as the plant become more active, and as such tend to want to absorb more nutrients in an effort for it to facilitate growth and development. What will happen when you have a calcium deficiency is that you have new leaves may turn black at the tips. New leaves may turn what? Black at the tips. So many of you, especially your Cattleya type or orchids, will show these symptoms as where you have a new growth taking place. The leaf within the new growth at the axil will tend to develop a black demarcation or black rot. It is similar to black rot, but it's just that it generally starts with the new growth, and this is really a deficiency of calcium taking place. So it will affect the plant in general. Good. So the affected area has an advanced yellowing band that will become black or brown in time to come. The bud growth may be inhibited, or buds may develop improperly. In certain periods, depending on the degree of the deficiency, these buds can actually fall off. And calcium deficient may also cause the death of your root tips. So when you have your orchid roots not growing and they look a bit underdeveloped, and the root tips tend to be dying back, that can be as a result of calcium deficiency. And what we have to address that, of course, is your calcium boron right here, right? And the recommendation using this for your orchids, since orchids are not like your regular plant, is half teaspoon to the gallon of water. Remember, as what we highlighted early on, is that orchids has evolved the means of utilizing minimal amount of nutrients, right? So they can survive on small dosage of nutrients. Also, you don't want too much of an acidic solution that can result in burning or damaging your plant roots. And also, if you add too much calcium, it may upset the pH balance within the pot. So you want to use minimal amount over a period of time. As I highlight here, weekly, so it's a week solution of nutrients that are going to feed the plant on a weekly basis. So yes, looking at our calcium boron, it will strengthen the plant cells. So fortifying your plant cell, and it promotes root tip development. So of course, ladies and gentlemen, ensure that you have your liquid feed calcium boron as a part of your nutrient regime. Next, let's look at magnesium deficiency, and this one often happens in many growers plant, but is also misdiagnosed as a fungal or microbial infection taking place. Now, magnesium is essential in the formation of chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is used to trap sunlight in an effort for your plant to make food, and food is important for the plant to utilize to get energy to facilitate that growth, or for growth to actually take place. So what you will realize is that if you have a deficiency of magnesium, over time you will see a decrease in production, a decrease in growth. How do we identify a magnesium deficiency? Let's look at some of the symptoms. Now, magnesium deficiency can result in what we call cup-shaped leaves, a reduction in growth, and also marginal or interveinal chlorosis. And what we mean by chlorosis is that your plant leaf begins to show signs of yellowing. So you will see a faint yellowing that is developing in your orchid leaf, almost like a mosaic pattern taking place within your orchid leaf. So that is an indication of magnesium deficiency taking place. So the plant grow with magnesium deficiency can exhibit that chlorotic mottling, yes, that mottling appearance, especially if it is exposed to extreme or high temperatures. And that is the reason why it is recommended that you utilize Epsom salt, especially during periods of extensive sunlight, where like in the dry period we have intense, like the summer months, right, when you have more intense sunlight and heat within the environment. Persons normally uses your magnesium sulfate or your Epsom salt. Now, a better alternative is for you to utilize your magnesium to put back that green within the plant, and that is exactly what you want. You want the plant to farm or to produce or to make enough chlorophyll. So it's an important constituent, as I said earlier, in the formation of chlorophyll, and it's very mobile in a plant. And because magnesium is so mobile, what will happen is that all the leaves down on the plant, all the leaves, if the plant is going to have a deficiency of magnesium, it will take the magnesium from the lower leaves, right? So your lower plant leaves will start to exhibit that sort of yellowing. If the deficiency is so bad, you will actually see it in the entire leaf of the plant. So yes, viewers, an important nutrient that you should have in your arsenal of your nutritional kit, so to speak, is your magnesium. Good. Now, if from time to time you also may have a deficiency of nitrogen taking place. Now, your standard fertilizer normally has NPK, and N is for nitrogen, P is for phosphorus, and the K is for potassium. So NPK, deficiency of nitrogen is not something that you readily see occurring in orchid plants where the grower is actually fertilizing with your standard NPK. But for plants that is not fertilized, right, and the medium may be poor, especially if the medium is consists of organic matter, which would have broken down over time. And of course, organic matter will provide some amount of new nutrients, but it becomes so broken down and poor, then you realize those plants that are neglected or just placed there, they will tend to start to exhibit or show signs of nitrogen deficiency. What you see happening is more of a uniform leaf yellowing. Uniform leaf yellowing. And this uniform leaf yellowing tend to start from where the plant is, from where the leaf is attached to the plant. You have a gradual yellowing taking place, right? And the plant will also appear stubby, and the leaf can also feel a bit leathery. These are symptoms of a nitrogen deficiency. What we have in our liquid feed line that can be used to address a deficiency of nitrogen that will give you a very good result is your liquid feed, looking for it, or liquid feed ammonium. Now your liquid feed ammonium, it is not here, but your liquid feed ammonium is also a very good source of nitrogen, right? It is liquid feed amino acids, and it is consist of a nitrogen based compound amino acids. And as I highlighted to you earlier, that amino acids are the central building blocks for protein, really. So this is already source of nitrogen that is used to correct deficiency of nitrogen deficiencies and promote overall growth. So we have a deficiency of nitrogen. Your liquid feed amino acid is your go-to product. Now, what you can use from time to time to supplement your potassium is your liquid feed potassium of course, and potassium. Orchids appreciate potassium. Mostly though at the end of the season, because it helps to control flower development. So when that plant has grown and is now in the process of now producing, your potassium comes in handy. Its demand for potassium will increase because it's now going into the production phase. And production phase here means the production of blooms, which you, like myself, love. Is really the orchid bloom, or the flower, so to speak. Now, potassium also helps to suppress fusarium infection. I want that to be reflected on. That potassium also helps to suppress fusarium infection. And in my previous orchid presentation, where we looked at fungal and bacterial disease, I highlighted that fusarium is one of those diseases that often affect orchids. So the use of potassium to a great degree can help to minimize or suppress onset of fusarium. Now, let's look at our phosphorus. The role of phosphorus. Phosphorus here. Phosphorus improves root growth and increase blooms, right? It improves root growth as well as increasing bloom. So phosphorus is a key element or a key nutrients for you to have at hand to facilitate blooming. Good. Now, fulvic and humic acid. Now, for your fulvic and humic acid, I had to do a bit of somewhat of an extensive research for its use in orchid cultivation, and I came across several articles that actually speaks of the use of humic